how do you choose to leave here? How do you want to leave here? And it's a certain mindset that I had when I was little. I'm not leaving here a certain way. And when I saw that, bleeding as much as I was bleeding, because I lost, I think, 2 gallons of blood. I had to immediately get a blood transfusion because I was so dizzy. And then when I was dizzy and I could barely stood up, and I felt myself kind of losing it, and I said, no, I'm not dying here.
Every day, we walk past people or even work with people, and we never take into account the journey they had to take in order to get to where they are now. While we may not all have the same obstacles on our journey, we each have our own journey that we must face. So in this series, I'm going to highlight the journeys and the obstacles that people had to go through in order to stand before you today. Things like, how were they able to keep striving when it seemed that the whole idea of hope had evaporated? Or when it seemed that there was nothing around to take delight in, how were they able to remain delightful? Let's get into it. So, Jeremy, thank you for allowing us to get together. You know, as I mentioned when I first met you, I had no idea of the backstory that went along with being you. I had no idea. Matter of fact, the way I was able to put 2 and 2 together was I would see you all the time at the store. And one day I was flicking through the channels and I seen somebody that looked like you out here on this very field here hitting home runs. And I said, no, that can't be the guy, because because, and the reason being is not the skill, is because they said this guy here, he has a prosthetic.
Yep.
And I said, no, the guy I know doesn't have one, because I've seen him walk before.
That's good.
Yeah, I've literally seen you walk when I would come to the store, and I had no idea. And then also just your personality, how happy you are and just delightful, and I was like, wow. And when I seen that, I was like, man, I was so intrigued that I wanted to get a chance to get more into the story of you. So
it is a story.
Yeah, and that's the backdrop. You're up at the home plate. Where does the story for Jeremy begin?
Oh man, started Columbus, Mississippi. That's where I was born. Columbus, Mississippi. I came to Jackson when I was about 6 months old. Okay. My brother was already born. He had been already 2 years in Columbus, so mother was like, "Hey, it's time to go." So we finna go ahead and go back to Jackson. She got married, and so we moved to Jackson, and I came along with her as a little, little infant child, and pretty much grew up in West Jackson. Went to typical, little boy growing up in the hood. Not a lot of role models, but really rough environment in West Jackson at the time. This is the late 80s, early 90s. And that's not really the place you want to pick role models. They came and went, but they were very, very few and in between. But grew up, man, me and my brother, rambunctious as usual, wake up in the morning, okay, gotta be something crazy we can do for the day is over with, and that's what we did. But we would go to my grandmother's house on my mother's side, and then we would go in the summertime, we would go to also my granddad's house on my dad's side. So that was my mother's way of just saying, hey, it's mama's time to get a break. We gotta send y'all alone. So she would literally drop us off for like 2 months for the summer. She would drop us off, and we would spend weeks and weeks at a time. But at granddad's house, you watch the Braves. When the Braves come on, this is what you watch. You ain't have no choice. Like, granddad, can I watch something else? And he's over there knocked out sleep. And we would turn the channel, and I kid you not, he would wake up every time. I'm like, how did you know I changed? You just snoring. Turn it back to the Braves. So we had to make fun out of it. So David Justice, Walt Weiss, Chipper Jones, watching me pitch Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, just kind of falling in love with them. Like, man, might as well get to know these players since I'm going to be watching the only team that we can watch in the house.
Really, almost the only thing it sounds like you can watch.
Yeah.
It's almost as if It's almost as if he made you be a baseball fan.
That's right. Yeah. Like you gonna like this team. You gonna like baseball. I never really even liked baseball like that. So after that, we will go out to the backyard and we will get the paper, tape it with the duct tape. Get the little yellow, like $1 back then at Walmart, and we would play in the backyard. And that's kind of where it started, man. We started just having like friends come over and we gonna play baseball in the back, and it wasn't strike 1, 2, and 3. It was like 6, 7 strikes and you out.
Until I get it, yeah. Let me swing until I hit it.
Let me swing until I hit it, man. So you remember new pitcher? If you weren't pitching the right, new pitcher.
I remember that. I remember that.
So that's where we started, man. And from there, baseball kind of molded, man. If I can do that first inning, that would be the first start of like driving towards that baseball. Like, I think I can really do this for a long time. I really think I can do this for a long time.
That's pretty cool. Now, after being introduced to baseball from your grandfather, and you said I can do this for a long time.
Yeah.
At what age were you when you said, this is my dream? What age were you then?
7, 8 years old.
Wow, okay.
I wanted to, this was what I was going to do, man. I'm going to play baseball. I was naturally good at it. I was strong for a kid. I could hit pretty good. I was just natural. Everybody that picked their teams, I'm the first one they picked. I want Jeremy. So I just had a knack for it, natural talent,
Yeah,
but it was one of those things that I just gravitated towards. 7, 8 years old, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play pro baseball.
This is why I want to ask, where did that dream of being a professional baseball player, you say, what was that point in your life where it took the hit?
Yeah, that was April the 12th, 1996.
Okay.
That's when I took the hit. We were going to the train track, and when you go to the track, the way it would come through, the train would just sit on the track for hours on end. You either hop the track or you waited till it went, and it just didn't move. So we would have to hop the track sometimes. But at this time, we got a little hustle thing, and we go into the golf course and we would find the balls and they would hit them. And we would throw our hands up. You want it? No, you go get it. So we would go get the ball and turn it in. You get 25 cents a ball.
Oh, okay.
So this is 1996.
How old are you at this time?
At this time, I'm 11 years old.
11 years old, okay.
And me and the friends would go every Saturday, and that's what we would do. That's our little side hustle.
Yeah,
we go
25 cents a ball.
25 cents a ball, and we would go in the woods, man, and we would look for them, get them, go to the little ponds, and we would wash them off, man, and we'll come in, boom, here you go. And he said, y'all found all these balls, y'all saving me some money. I'm gonna pay y'all for these. So 25 cents a ball, we'll walk out with like 3 of us, $5 a piece. That went a whole long way in 96, chips was $3, $4, drinks was $3, $4, so it went a good little ways. And but that was our little thing that we did. But one day, play with fire long enough, you get burned. And when I jumped across, I ended up falling. And when I fell, I got pulled underneath the tracks, and my foot went in between the wheels. It didn't just cut it straight off, but my foot went in between the wheels like spaghetti noodle, and drug me for about 10, 15 feet until I grabbed the rocks. And when I grabbed those big stone white rocks, then that's when it just kind of let me go. And my 2 friends looked at me, and till this day is one of the loneliest feelings in the world, when you got 2 people that you only see and they take off running. They just left, and I'm just sitting here bleeding. I'm looking at what's going on. And the first thing in my mind is my mother thinks I'm across the street playing a video game. Super Nintendo, Killer Instinct. She think I'm across the street. I'm here on the train tracks. I don't want to die here. And that was when the motivation for me to get up. And I said to myself, I will not die on these tracks. I jumped up and I hopped over one train. I hopped over the second train, and I jumped in the middle of the street. This at nighttime. Threw my hands up. Somebody helped me. 2 cars almost hit me. One car stopped, picked me up. Long story short, when they got me to the hospital, they put me under. I woke up and they said, Jeremy, there's nothing we can do. We had to take your foot. And that was like the first, oh man, I can't play baseball. That was like, it broke me. I didn't say anything for anybody for like days. It was a really depressed moment for me. Yeah, and I knew I couldn't play no more.
We just wrapped up, all right? We just wrapped up this new episode. I can't wait for you to get into it. I mean, this one here touched me. This is good. All right, listen, make sure that you check this video out, that you like this video, that you do all of that. Oh, be sure to go and pick your set of cards up. All right, pick up a couple of them. We got multiple sets, so go ahead and pick those up as well. What you're getting right now is some behind the scene footage. Today is Thursday, and we have just wrapped up another episode. All right, the first episode of this season, and I can't wait for us to release this one, edit this one up, and get this one ready. All right, we got more content coming.